Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here again, taking your sources and pulling out those crucial nuggets of knowledge. This is episode 3 in our series, Navigating a Business Model. And today, we're diving into something really fundamental, the power of keeping things simple. Simple strategy, simple communication. You know that feeling, right? Someone asks, what does your business do? And suddenly you're talking for 5 minutes straight. Or maybe you're the one asking, and the answer just leaves you scratching your head. It happens all the time.
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge challenge. Whether you're, just starting out or maybe trying to sharpen things up for an existing business, getting down to that real core, it's tougher than it looks. We often see these business models shown as really complex diagrams, causal loop diagrams, they call them.
Right, with all the arrows showing choices and consequences.
Exactly. Intricate links. But like one source says, unless it's a super simple setup, such a representation rapidly becomes highly complex and often intractable, trying to map out every single choice management makes or every single possible outcome. It's not practical, often not even helpful.
Okay, let's unpack this then. That analogy you mentioned, the useless vast map. Why is avoiding that complexity? Why is simplicity so critical when you're building a business model?
Well, it really boils down to two things: focus and clarity. If your model is too complicated, it's hard for you to understand. It's hard to actually implement day to day.
And impossible to explain to anyone else.
Exactly. Think about that map again. A map the size of the empire, point for point. Our sources say the next generations found it useless. Why? Too much detail, not practical. That's what we want to avoid. We need a clear direction, not an overwhelming map. Simplicity makes things understandable, makes them actionable.
So it's like less is more. You need that sharp focus, that clear, concise direction, instead of trying to map everything.
Precisely. Look at the Model T Henry Ford. He didn't try to build some fancy luxury car with tons of options, did he?
No, definitely
He
not.
built a car for the great multitude, and famously, it came in what? Just one color? Black?
With very few extras.
Right. Few optional extras. It was reliable, durable, and crucially, easy to use and fix. He had one single clear purpose: everyday transport for ordinary people. Get them out of horse-drawn carriages and into cars. That singular focus, it was revolutionary. It wasn't just about simplifying the car. It was about simplifying the purpose to unlock mass adoption.
And you see that pattern again and again, don't you?
Yeah.
It wasn't just Ford. Federal Express.
Oh, yeah. FedEx is a classic case. Early days, they narrowed its focus to overnight delivery only. And that slogan, everyone knew it, when it absolutely, positively has to be there overnight. Bam. Simple, clear, powerful.
It tells you exactly what they do and, importantly, what they don't do.
Exactly. And you see the flip side, too, right? What happens when brands lose that sharp focus?
Yeah, the sources mentioned Chevrolet and Panasonic.
Right. Chevrolet becoming a large, small, cheap, expensive car or truck, trying to be everything. Or Panasonic. Goodness, a computer printer, facsimile machine, scanner, telephone, television set, and copier. The list goes on.
They become what the source called burned out brands.
Because they lost their singularity, they got diluted, tried to be everything distinctive to everyone, and ended up being nothing distinctive to anyone. Breadth without depth just weakens the brand.
So the takeaway, especially if you're starting something new, is start small. Stay focused. Even if your ultimate dream is huge,
That's exactly what the sources suggest, to build something massive, like a huge network effect business.
where more users make it better for everyone.
Yeah. You often have to start with what they call small atomic networks, tiny focused groups first. Think about eBay. It started with collectibles. That seems niche, right?
It's a niche.
Or Facebook, just college students initially. Uber started with limos for wealthy folks. Airbnb, literally airbeds and breakfasts. TikTok was lip syncing videos.
All seemed kind of small, maybe even odd at first.
But that initial focus, that niche beginning, was the key. It allowed them to nail the model, build momentum, and then scale massively.
Okay, so simplicity in the strategy itself is vital.
Yeah.
Got it. But then there's explaining it. How does this principle apply when you need to communicate your business?
Oh, it's paramount. Absolutely critical. The McKinsey Starting Up Business Planning Manual really hammers this point. It says clarity and comprehensibility are particularly important for your executive summary. They call it the pencil sketch of your venture.
The pencil sketch. I like that.
Yeah. It needs to give the reader all the important bits, without any big surprises coming later. Clear communication is basically the blueprint for building trust and understanding.
So that whole elevator pitch idea, being able to describe your business in just one sentence, It's not just some catchy phrase, it's actually strategically important.
It really is. I mean, one source puts it bluntly, it takes serious work to get to a pithy statement that's both understandable and compelling.
It's easier to ramble on.
Much easier. It's much easier to write or think long than to write or think short. And this isn't just for pitches, it's for your vision, your marketing, everything. Getting concise shows you really understand it deeply.
There's a great story about David Ogilvy, the advertising legend. He used the word obsolete to describe soaps compared to Dove.
Right. And then he found out
Yeah.
that most people didn't actually know what obsolete meant. He had to change it to old-fashioned.
Perfect example. It drives home the need for simple, accessible language. Ogilvy himself said, write short sentences and short paragraphs and avoid difficult words.
It's not about sounding smart with jargon.
No, it's about being understood, period. And for founders, the Startup Owner's Manual has this interesting advice. It suggests letting the customer development team, the people actually talking to customers, hearing their problems firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
Let them craft the initial positioning, not some external PR agency who might just layer on buzzwords and complexity. Keep it grounded in the customer's reality. And this applies internally too, right? Not just talking to customers or investors.
Absolutely. Even in things like brainstorming. One source points out, keep the problem topics narrow.
Focus.
Right. No more than one topic in a session. And the ideas must be stated briefly. Keep it concise. Keep it moving. Simplicity helps people actually work together effectively.
Okay, so bringing this all together, for anyone listening, maybe sketching out a new idea, maybe trying to refine something existing, what's the main takeaway here?
I think it's about truly embracing simplicity. Make it a discipline. Don't build that useless vast map. Instead, work hard to distill. What's the absolute essence? Who do you serve? What problem do you solve for them? How do you deliver that solution simply, clearly? Test your ideas, use those small experiments, repeated over time. Keep refining the message. Remember, clarity isn't just nice to have, it's what makes things work. It leads to effectiveness.
It really sounds like it's a cycle. Simplify the strategy, and your communication becomes clearer, more compelling. That clarity then lets you focus your efforts better.
It's really about choosing clarity over clutter, which lets you build that solid foundation you need.
Indeed. And maybe that leaves you, the listener, with a question to chew on. We live in a world that often, seems to reward complexity, big complicated plans, grand statements. So think about your own business or your idea. What's one area that feels maybe a bit too complex right now? And how could you apply this principle of simplicity starting today to make it not just clearer, but actually more powerful?